right, welcome back, mathematicians. How's it going? So today we're going to finish up on page 2. Now we're going to find the equation of a line. So we're looking at this word equation of a line. So our final answer is going to be in this y equals mx plus b form. And we're being given the slope, which again is m, and a point, which is always x comma y. So in this particular problem, it says find the equation of a line. So as soon as I see that, I'm thinking y equals mx plus b through the point 1, 2. So again, anytime you see an ordered pair, always label that xy with the slope of 7. That's our m. And what we do is we just label what we know, plug in what we know. So if I look at my equation, I have a y. Now here, I label my y as 2. So I have 2 equals m is 7, x I labeled as a 1, and I put a plus b. And notice there's no b labeled anywhere. That's what I have to solve. That's what I have to figure out. So I would do 2 equals 7. 7 times 1 is 7, plus b. And I want to get the b by itself, so I'm going to leave the b here because it's already positive and move the 7 to the other side. And since it's positive, I had to subtract it. And I get b equals negative 5. Now, you're not done yet. That's saying b is your y-intercept, but it wants to know the equation of a line. So the last thing you do is you plug in your parameters, which are your slope and your y-intercept, and you always leave your variables x and y as x and y, because those are inputs and outputs. They can change. You always plug a number in for m and a number in for b. So my m is what we labeled before, 7. X stays as x, and my b is negative 5. And if we were to graph this, we would see that the line would have a slope of 7 and it would cross through the point 1, 2. All right, I want you to try example 2 on your own. Again, this one does say find the equation of the line with an average rate of change of 1/2. So again, average rate of change just means that's your slope. So I'm going to say m equals 1/2. And it's going through the point 3, comma 1. So again, we can label that as x and y. Go ahead and try and plug in what you know, and go ahead and see if you can get the equation. All right, let's go over this one. So again, we're in the equation of the line, so it has to be y equals mx plus b. My y I labeled as 1. My m, or my slope, is 1/2. That's what they gave us. The x is 3, and the b is what we don't know, but we have to figure out. All right, so now I multiply the 1/2 and the 3, and half of 3 is 1.5. And again, I want to leave the b here because it's positive, and I'm going to subtract 1.5. So I have with b equals negative 0.5, or negative 1/2. So my final equation becomes y equals 1/2 x, 1/2 my slope, minus 0.5, or minus 1/2. That's the b that we just found. Again, you could also write it as 1/2 x minus 1/2, either one. All right, last thing we're going to look at is interpreting equations. So it says describe the practical significance of the slope of the y-intercept and the slope in this line in relation to this context. So for example 1, it says a pizza party charges for pizzas and adds a delivery fee. The cost, C, in dollars, to have any number of pizzas P delivered to a home is described by the function C equals 8P plus 3. So again, C is your total cost, and P is my, as it says, number of pizzas. So let's say if I ordered 0 pizzas, I would do 8 times 0 and get 3. It still cost me $3. If I had 1 pizza, it'd be 8 times 1, which is 8, plus 3 is 11. For 2 pizzas, 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19. So as you can see, the rate of change, how it's changing, is it's changing 8 times the number of pies I'm getting. So my 8 is my rate of change. So my slope is 8. But it's not just saying label the slope. I want to know the significance of it. So therefore, every time I order a pizza, it's costing me $8 more. So this slope of 8, so we can say slope represents, it's $8 per pizza. Because every time I order a pizza, it's going to increase $8. The y-intercept then is that starting amount, or a one-time fee that you have to pay no matter what. And so in this case, I'm paying $3 up front no matter what. And that's going to be your delivery fee, because it says we're charging per pizza and also adding the delivery fee. So that means the y-intercept would be 0.3, and that means there's a $3 delivery fee. So these problems can get a little tricky. I always recommend label what the variables represent and then try and work your way through there. Try example 2 on your own. All right, so we go through this. The amount of money Jake has in his wallet can be described using the equation m equals negative 2.50d plus 75, where d is the number of days from Sunday, and m equals the amount of money in his wallet. So go ahead and try that problem on your own. And again, all you're doing is labeling what the slope represents and the y-intercept represents. Not what they are, but what they represent. All right, let's take a look at this. So again, m is the amount of money, and d is the number of days. It's the money in Jake's wallet. All right, so we can see that as our days are going to get larger, we're going to be losing more money because we're multiplying the number of days times negative 2.5t. So again, that number in front of the variable there, that's our slope. So our slope is equal to negative 2.50. And again, that's going to be a minus. So that means every day he's spending $2.50 or loses $2.50. So he spends $2.50 per day. You do need that per day in there because it says d is the number of days. Because remember, slope is always a unit of rise over run. So it's dollars per day. And then our y-intercept is what we're starting out with, which would be 0.75. And then we can just say he started the week with $75 in his wallet. All right. Have a good day.